What a day. We had a crazy start of the week, both Monday, Tuesday, record-breaking historic days, then today, an incredibly choppy and slow day. Now, it is a green day. We're going to break down every single trade that I took today in depth and traded quite a few things today. I'll go ahead and drag it on over here, the whole recap, and we'll run over it real quick. Bit of a cool-off day today, +3 ARD day with fake-outs left and right, and I warned everybody on stream this morning, because for one, the pre-market watch list wasn't even a watch list this morning. We only had one stock into the bell that I was really watching. It was on WLDS, which I traded pretty well, all things considered, but it was an eventful day for sure. So we're going to break it all down. WLDS, PTNM, RBNE, WGLE. So let's go ahead and get into it here. I don't want to waste too much time because today is a crazy one. So let's go ahead and dive into it here. And what I'll say is very defensive day today. Really good execution. We also got some new highs in our swings on Real and on Wolf. So that's all good, but of course I'm not counting that towards the morning because that's not the day trading stuff. That's not really what we want to focus on here. So let's go and dive into it all. I'll start with the first, which was WLDS, and we'll go in order here. I won't get into the good stuff. But this really was the leading gapper this morning. And man, I got to say, this one had me a little bit frustrated to start because, see, what happens here, and let me get my pin tool so I can walk you through this. What happens here is this thing gaps up quick this morning, and I'm watching it. This thing starts to get the perk up here, makes a move. You can see this thing rocketed this morning, makes a move from $1.50 to $3, and I was going to look for a little 1 minute pullback here. You can see rockets from 1 to 3, 1 minute pullback to the 90 MA. I wanted it there so bad, but I didn't take it. I just started up the live stream, and so I was like, let's start planning here first before we start really doing much. And this thing gets going. There's no worse feeling. And then when this thing breaks up higher, I'm not taking it here because we're so extended away from VWAP now. And again, then it pulls away further. And then again, I'm not taking it here because we're still so overextended. And watch what happens here. You're going to say, well, what the heck? If it was overextended here, what are you doing? And so again, consolidates, breaks higher. And then what's it do here is it actually grabs liquidity over 10. And so as this thing breaks 10, we grab liquidity over the highs, and in most cases, you would say, oh, that's a reversal indicator, and it is. And today it was too. But what I was really curious of here is, are shorts going to come in and get too comfortable here off the highs? And so me being the optimistic guy that I am after the last 2 days, I come in here with just small size, of course, because this does carry a bit of risk. And I was looking for these lows to hold off this past area of supply. Of course, once price flips, this becomes an area of demand. And I was really curious if this would get squeezing back up through these highs and stop out these shorts and then just make that move to 12 and 14. So the opportunity was there. I just obviously didn't get the move. But then, of course, this does pull back in a good way, and I'm able to actually execute this to a T, literally timing the bottom. Look at this. So small loss here. Then it pulls back all the way back over VWAP here. And I'm actually take this here, risking a nice spot off of 6. You can see here off of 608, risking tying off the bottom of this candle at 580. And I literally take the bottom there. So, oh my God, amazing trade. This thing pulls back. We can see that it's starting to sort of exhaust those sellers to the downside and able to play this really well and make all of this back and then some. So we have this from 598 back to about 740 for an amazing trade on this curl back up into this past area of, you can see liquidity sitting here in the market. Again, where we have this rally move, this becomes an area of liquidity where, again, price is going to likely, again, look to grab liquidity again. And again, it does here. So it makes that move back up into that range, take a full profit, and then I come back and actually play it again where you can actually see it come back off this previous low. It puts in place a bottom with this wick off the low. And so again, I take a re-entry here at 668, risking off this low at $6. And then again, I get a move up here at market open to $8.15. We got a weak resumption. I sold the rest at entry down there at 670, but nonetheless, beautiful trades here. So we had the one loss, had the 2 wins. Beautifully done. And then again, this thing breaks up and actually pivots back over the moving averages. And with how hot things have been, I'm looking for a big move here. This thing gets going in a good way. It breaks out, pivots. And I'm looking for this base to hold off this range from the open and really get curling back up into the next range overhead back towards the pre-market highs. And of course, that did not happen here. It was a great looking setup, but as you can see, I was pretty much getting chopped here. You can see break even, small loss, small win, just one step forward, one step back. And so that's why I'm so minuscule green on this one this morning. It really was a pain in the butt. And then we went over to PTNM, and PTNM was another awesome looking setup where I'm looking for this to, again, get that retest of these highs, which ends up happening. but I have it just a wee bit too tight. I'm playing a little bit defensive because of what we just saw on the previous stock on WLDS. And so, of course, I kept it a little bit too tight. I got stopped out of this. I didn't want to have super wide risk on this. So I was really risking off the bottom of this last candle for the move back higher, and I get stopped for a small loss, and then it goes. So I promised the morning got better. We went on to RBNE, and RBNE traded fairly well. This looks like it was a lot worse than it really was. This actually was a nice profitable trade. I tried to leave some runners in it to let it make a new high. It didn't, but still played it really well. So again, reclaims VWAP, break of trend. Price pulls back, confirms off of VWAP. I'm risking off this past high here for the move back higher. And again, I traded it better than what it looks like, I swear. Played it here from, as you can see, from 460 up into the 490s. I only had a quarter left here at the high and sold the rest beneath my entry. So it was a very small win here, but still made some money on it. So again, all a matter of risk management, but I promise it gets even better. MWYN was the moneymaker today, and even this was a little bit choppy today. Now, I still traded it really well, although I wish that it was a little bit cleaner. I could have done probably a lot more with this had it been just a little bit cleaner, but still made do and made some money on it. So again, gets breaking out, 1 minute pullback off the 90 MA. Grab that first pullback, and I get a break up to VWAP here. Check this out. I get a break back higher, back to VWAP, get a full take profit, an overall beautiful win here from 203 back to 225. Again, capture this to a T. Price pulls back. Again, we confirm a buyer here off these pullbacks where price puts in place this range and breaks to new highs. So I'm viewing this as an area of demand, which it was. It just didn't work out. Of course, even the best setups don't work out 100% of the time. Price pulls back after putting in place a wick here. I take the entry for the curl back up into VWAP. And again, that doesn't happen. So I take this out underneath the 90 MA and I sit back and wait for a reclaim. Right now I'm sitting here with a win and with a loss. Then price does reclaim. And so again, we have this area of, again, demand formed here. That price finally gets a move back above. You can see here, breaks back over the 90 MA with strength, pulls back. I snag the entry underneath 2, and I capture move here all the way back to $2.20 on the retest of the previous high. So again, I've got a big win. I've got a little loss. I've got another nice win. We come back again, it breaks back down beneath the 90 MA. I wait for it to reclaim, and again, I try to take the same trade again for a move back up into this range. I'm looking for this, and I capture a small little loss. So you can see here, took it from about 208 down to 204 with a really small L after taking 2 nice wins before. So did really well here as well. Overall, couldn't be too mad about that. So when I tell you this morning was choppy, let me look at this. When I tell you it was a choppy morning, I feel like I was just take 1 step back, 2 steps up, 1 step back, and it's just unbelievably frustrating. So, but again, zoom out, look at the big picture of everything here this week, and we had a 6R day on Monday, a 14R day yesterday, a 3R day today. It could have been a break-even day, and I'd still be happy. Still be a massive green week. So after a massive Monday, an even bigger Tuesday, I'm still super stoked with the week here. Obviously, we were due for some slowness, due for some chop after the past 2 days have been hard to lose money. We've had so much stuff working. Yesterday was insane. I had a 100% win rate day yesterday with an abundance of opportunities. And so again, I'm still happy with today, all things considered. And I think that we still did really well. So that being said, hopefully you learned something from this video. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button for daily videos just like this. And as always, make sure to claim your 7-day free trial to watch me trade these stocks in real time every single day and get alerts, education, chat room access, and so much more. And all that said, I hope you guys had an awesome day in the market today. Definitely a little bit slower, but looking forward to things heating back up into the weekend, Thursday and Friday, for an amazing way to end the week. That being said, I'll see you guys there.